Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it may be in, whatever part of the world you may be in. This is Dr. Don with another daily LightPoint. I always say better late than never. I've been experiencing significant travel delays. There's some more storms moving through the south that created delays in me coming back to the States. I've been traveling since yesterday evening, so when I tell you I'm exhausted, and I have to continue my pursuit. But it's one of those things where you accept what the universe is pushing you toward, and that was not getting to my destination exactly as I wanted to this afternoon. So I'm going to pursue first thing tomorrow morning. With that being said, it's all good. It gives me an opportunity to share in my light point for today now that I'm stationary. We've been unpacking this theme around strengths, and it's a really broad theme. There's so much to talk about. I just want to begin this conversation today with the premise that our strengths are often revealed through our weaknesses. Let me say that again. Our strengths are often revealed through our weaknesses. When we spend so much time seeking to identify and overcome our weaknesses, we lose sight that oftentimes our capacity to do just that requires us to channel our strengths. We put so much emphasis on our weaknesses and our failures that we lose sight of the fact that, wait a minute, those very traits, characteristics, competencies that will enable me to adapt and overcome represent or indicative foundationally of the strengths that enable me to lead effectively in my life, personally and professionally. So, really short and sweet, I encourage you when you're navigating what you perceive to be a weakness. Let's say for me, sometimes I struggle with procrastination, right? And I lean on this premise that I respond well in emergent circumstances, right? That's a general weakness that I have. But within that, where do my strengths begin to emerge? Well, humility is one of them because with humility, I can accept the fact that that's an area of focus. Okay, so how do I leverage my humility as I navigate or overcome my weakness as it relates to procrastination or whatever it may be? Another trait may be self-awareness. How do I leverage self-awareness as a strength in the context of how I show up in the lives of others? Another trait may be discipline, right? Discipline not in the context of necessarily mitigating delays, but discipline in other areas of your life that you can now leverage. For example, I'm religious about my calendars. So how do I take something like my calendar or my desire to put things or schedule things on my calendar, then how do I leverage that to overcome a weakness, which may be something like procrastination? So that's what I started to do. Anytime I need to get anything done, even as emergent as it is, either myself or the individuals whom I rely on to keep me on track from a scheduling standpoint, they will put it on my calendar immediately. And depending on the level of urgency and complexity in that work, it will dictate where it goes on my calendar, how it's captured on my calendar, because I leverage my calendar as a guiding point for the things I need to get done. If it's something that I'm inclined to procrastinate with, I may find myself scheduling it to get done almost immediately so that I mitigate procrastination. I'm leveraging a strength that I have to overcome or manage a perceived weakness. That's just one subtle example of how within our weaknesses, we can begin to identify our strengths. So I encourage you as you consider your strengths, look to your weaknesses and then figure out, man, this is this one thing that I'm working through, I'm navigating, and what's enabling me to do so effectively. Or it's one thing that was a weakness that I was able to overcome. Because again, through that evaluation, you will start to reveal authentic strengths in that. With that being said, thank you for tuning in to another Daily Light Point. We're going to continue to just unpack these morsels of insight as we explore this conversation around our own personal strengths. Thank you for tuning in to the Light Point podcast. Real leaders, real talk, real time.